everybody, and welcome back again to Let's Play Horizon Zero Dawn. I have returned to Meridian with my very shiny new armor, or more specifically to the Palace of the Sun, because that's where my next quest is. And yeah, I feel the game is definitely approaching the end. I thought about going back to Barnook territory to take care of, the two remaining errands that I have to do, but I feel at this point this would just be a detour that isn't really necessary anymore. And if I really want to finish those quests, I can do it after the game, I suppose. I mean, it's a DLC, and typically you get a DLC after the game is released, so a lot of people will play it after the game. So I'm sure I can finish that stuff after the end game. But yeah, without further ado, let's head over to our destination. We have to talk to the Sun King again. Let's see if he's going to hit on us again. Alright, this is his throne. Let's talk.
Aloy, what brings you to Meridian?
A threat. Helis commands a legion of fanatics called the Eclipse. They will attack soon from the west, with an army of ancient war machines. But that's not the worst of it. They'll bring a mind with them, god, demon, machine, whatever you want to call it. It's called Hades. And it doesn't want Meridian at all. It wants the spire. And if it gets there, it will send out a call, waking more ancient machines, more than we could ever defeat. All will be lost. We can't let that happen.
I'm trying to understand, but my responsibility lies with Meridian.
Meridian isn't the target, Avad. You have to defend the spire.
Perhaps the Vanguard, Your Radiance.
Yes. Send them to the spire. Eren knows Aloy. He won't question it.
And have the city guard fortify the western ridge. There they can be seen to protect Meridian and the Elite, where the spire rests.
Aloy, allow me to apologize for my behavior before. After everything that happened with Ursa, I was confused. If we're to fight together on the brink of life and death, I'd prefer to do so with your forgiveness.
Then you have it. As long as you don't confuse me with her again.
Even a king can learn his lesson. Good then. I'm glad that's behind us. Now, it will take time to prepare our defenses. Please, tell me what you know of our enemies. Everything.
I don't know about everything, but I'll tell you what I can.
It's a very long story. And I'm not sure if you will be able to fully comprehend all of it. Okay, so have you already told him all that you knew about the enemy, or should we talk to him again?
Have you spoken to Blameless Murad?
Not yet, but I will.
He wishes to speak to you. Defensive preparations are his responsibility.
Okay, so apparently we have already told him about our enemy, and we just skipped ahead all through the conversation. Okay, well, let's find Murad and let's talk to him.
Quietly does it. Panic in the city will only create another enemy. And do keep me appraised of each new arrival.
Right, let's talk.
Aloy. Preparations are underway on the ridge defenses and at the spire. Word was sent to every corner of the Sundom. Our allies offered their steel. Some came for Meridian, others for shards. But many came for you, by name.
Hey, whatever works, huh?
For me.
Don't be so humble.
Okay, well, tell me about the ridge.
The ridge will be the front line. That's where the city guard are holding?
Yes, bolstered by some of the irregulars I spoke of before. The Osseram cannons that thundered Meridian's walls in the Liberation will now defend us. You're welcome to tour the defenses.
Okay, well, I guess I will do that. And tell me a little bit more about the spire.
And the spire. Erend and the Vanguard are there?
Indeed. Clashing breastplates together and testing out their battle cries, I suppose. A number of the Nora have also arrived at the spire.
Oh.
They have resisted the offer of a royal audience. Perhaps you could parley with them.
I will.
Okay, well, sounds good to me. Anyway, what is the next step?
I suppose all we can do is wait for the attack.
Exactly. It's not a feeling I cherish, but our spotters at Evening Sign report there's still no movement in the west. So, if there's more you need to do elsewhere, seize this time to do it. Otherwise, I've made the apartment of Olin Delverson available to you. You can sleep there, if sleep comes.
Alright, this kind of sounds like a hint, you know. If you want to do anything else in this game before, you know, the point of no return, do it now. But honestly, I feel pretty good about this. I don't think I really need to do anything in particular. I've already replenished my supplies, or well, mostly sold some stuff, because usually my problem is having too many supplies and my inventory is full. Okay, so what can we do here? Visit both defense spires. It's optional, but I would like to do this. Okay. I guess this is where I have to rest, and these are the optional objectives. Okay, let's travel to this campfire and let's have a look at the defenses. Alright, where exactly do I need to go? It's on the other side of the bridge, right? Okay.
Have you just polished that armor with it?
Of course.
Isn't that a little...
What?
Nothing.
Out with it, woman.
Forget I said anything. You look very dignified.
Thank you.
Oh,
And shiny. Very shiny.
I remember you, Vanasha. So, are you here to defend the city? And you are Teb. Oh! So, these are the Nora that came here. Well, one Nora at the moment. Let me go and talk to these two as well.
Little Huntress, you called, so here I am.
Ready to fight?
Fight? I thought you just wanted tea and conversation. Is there a battle coming? I wasn't informed.
Well, that can't be true. You're always informed.
Ah, so I am. We've only met a few times, and yet you know me so well.
I don't think I know you at all. But I'd like to.
When I hear that line, it usually means something else. Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I've been waiting for this fight my whole life. The enemy we face today is the same that turned Meridian into a slave pit and Sunfall into a bloodbath. Fanatics who torture and murder mothers, fathers, families, children, and say it's the will of the sun. I hate them, Aloy. I've got the scars of their whips on my back to prove it. And today, we can get rid of them once and for all. I said I came for you, but that was only half the truth. I came for them. This time, they're not getting away.
I'm with you, Vanasha. We'll fight them together.
And I won't forget it, little Huntress. Tomorrow, may the sun rise in a better world.
Yeah, let's hope so. And I do like your determination. I hope you will get your revenge, I suppose. Apparently... Oh, I can talk to him as well.
Aloy?
At ease, Uthid. Meridian will be glad to have you on its side. And I am too.
The honor is mine. You saved my epitaph from being a fine soldier but a fool of a man.
I'm hoping you won't need any kind of epitaph just yet.
As the sun wills. When you found me, I was trying to eke out a glorious death. But now, a glorious life seems more preferable. To watch Edelman play in the low gardens again. Still surrounded by a dozen guards, but... what you did, Aloy, it was done well. Although, I can't shake this road, Vinasha. She delights in goading me. Like brazen colors waved before a behemoth.
Do you want me to ask her to stop?
No. I accept it. Well then. Meridian shall stand and shadow shall fall. I swear it.
Here's to that, Uthid.
Well, I wish you all the best, and if you die, I'm sure it's going to be a glorious death indeed. So, I hope it's not going to be necessary, but still.
Aloy, I told you I'd be here.
You did, Teb. But have your wounds even had time to heal?
Honestly, if I fought, I'd probably come undone. But don't worry, I'll leave that to the other Nora at the spire. I brought supplies instead. These Karja have made me an honorary quartermaster, whatever that means.
It sounds impressive.
I could get used to it. We'll be setting up caches of arms and medicine under these banners. Look for them when the fighting starts. Aloy, when you went into the mountain, did the goddess tell you our chances?
She didn't need to. I know we can do this, Teb.
Maybe we can.
Watch out for the Oseram
Gaia
merchants.
can probably
They'll soon
calculate our
cheat you with a
chances
look at
to
you.
like 5 digits or something. Also, why am I getting... Oh, these are like the journals. Apparently they are repaired. Not all of them though, so that's interesting. Huh. So I just have to wait a while and then they will become available one by one, or is this triggered by certain events like talking to these people? Sure, why not read a few of them, at least those that are already available. Just wrapped inspection of Gaia Prime site. Construction is well underway, reactor installed. Plans for control room remind me of Starship bridges in those cheesy old SF vids. Living spaces for alphas already completed. Prefab modules. Fingers crossed we never have to seal ourselves in here. Not that Elysium sounds much better. I mean, you would think it is. It's called Elysium, but I have no idea how that place looks like. Spent last week at the Bryce site designing ZD project labs, drawing up protocols. The base we're repurposing was huge, plenty of room for workspaces and residence blocks. The work crew's already set up my office lab. I'm not a fan of the glass wall. Guess Murray's intention was to ensconce me as all-seeing presence. Ugh, opposite effect. Makes me feel watched on display, tempted to paint it over. Harris recorded his presentation yesterday. Suitable bleak. Scheduled to record mine Friday. Okay, so this is pretty early in the timeline of Project Zero Dawn, because they're just building all these facilities and making the recordings. As soon as reception, lounge, holotheaters and first residence block at ZD's site are finished, we'll start processing the candidates being held outside Tucson 27 already. Extraction teams prioritizing Pac Rim and Aussie candidates. How scared and confused they must be, snatched off the streets, carted across the world, held in cells. Here's hoping they understand once they see the big picture. Yeah, I guess I had to pick up those candidates first, because that's where the swarm started, so those places would be destroyed first. Going to catch a few hours sleep here, then fly back to the ZD site. Harris promised delivery of QB lettuce by noon. Expect MK1 will take 2 weeks to machine, assemble and test. I aim to launch Gaia at 0.6 T grounding. From there I'll spin her up past 1.0 T. Wonder how long it'll take to break 1.38 T record. MIE can go hang, sleep. I guess it's like the level of advancement, because Cyan had similar ratings, I suppose. So, like, 1 is human-like, I suppose, and if it's higher than that, it's like even better or something like that. Okay, we have more of them, I suppose. Last time I visited Prime was November of last year. Months since have been a blur. Flew out last night to oversee installation of the central amateur and the master override. You're welcome, Ted. Which was completed by 0430. So I decided to grab a few hours of sleep here before heading back to ZD. Called Gaia before I bedded down, ostensibly to update her on the side plan. But the truth is, I missed her. I've developed a habit of speaking to her before I sleep. It seems to be the only thing that calms me these days. Woke to a message from Oswald. The Odyssey launched yesterday, so terrestrial life's chance of survival has doubled. Why then do I feel so uneasy? I just keep wondering what kind of world Far Zenith will create if the ship reaches its destination so many decades from now. And I worry about that alpha build of Apollo. So much knowledge, so few restraints, and no failed safes. How will they avoid repeating our mistakes? What's to stop them from playing God? I mean, it's kinda the fear that Ted Faro had. So apparently there was like an alpha build of Apollo on that like space station that they sent into orbit or into space. But if I remember correctly, that spaceship was destroyed, so I guess this version of Apollo is gone as well. Forwarded the Odyssey message to the Alphas. Now to replied in less than a minute, with a poem of course. The building of the ship by Longfellow, it's long, alright. I didn't read all of it, but it seems to be about launching a ship rather than building one. This stanza, or couplet or whatever, leapt out at me. Humanity, with all its fears, with all its hopes of future years, is hanging breathless on thy fate. Yeah, Odyssey and Zero Dawn both. Speaking of which, I should get back to ZD. I guess I should stop by now to slap and check on Demeter's progress too. If I can get out of there without a volume of Tennyson pressed into my hands, I'll count myself lucky. Till next time. Alright. Okay, got one more. Halloween. Travis came by trick-or-treating, dressed up like me. Should have seen that coming. I gave him a half-eaten packet of dandy wafers as a treat and kicked him out. But not before he invited me to some kind of Italian horror extravaganza he organized for ZD's staff. Seriously, as though there isn't enough horror in the world already. One would think. Anyway, I was already scheduled to fly out here to G Prime for final inspections with Harris and the President's delegation. Ted was here too, and he was not looking good. Kept fidgeting and couldn't seem to look me in the face without blinking. Yeah, I think he already started to behave strangely. I was relieved when he boarded his vert and flew back to Thebes. Gag. Yeah, he has kind of a pharaoh theme going, right? His name sounds like pharaoh. Many of his machines had Egyptian names. And apparently he was living in a pyramid, so it's kind of weird. Though I guess I shouldn't complain. If he wants to build himself a deluxe shelter to ride out the apocalypse, let him. Keeps him out of Elysium and away from me. So he had his own private shelter. But somehow he was still able to interfere with Apollo and delete it. Yeah, I don't know why he had access to that. Harris stuck around long enough to give me a detailed briefing on the strategic situation. Basically, we've entered the terminal phase, as though the color of the sky when I was flying over here wasn't clue enough. Another 2 or 3 weeks and the atmosphere won't be breathable. The last vestiges of European and West African Civ brigades are trapped with their backs against the Atlantic. The swarm that scuttled across Antarctica is crossing the Straits of Magellan, about to start its death crawl up the South America towards the Amazon. All the work we did to reconstitute the rainforest, it comes down to this. An advanced element of the Pacific Swarm are already skirmishing with units on the Kalmar seawall. The noose is tightening. Projections show that we can still finish in time, but the margin of error is plus minus 10 days. Not a good spread. If the plague breaks through ahead of schedule, well, it just can't. I will not let that happen. Enough writing, I need to get back to Zero Dawn. Yeah, apparently it was like really, really tight and they just barely managed to finish it. Okay, well, interesting. And I guess there will be more logs that I can check out in the future. Okay, we have someone over here as well. It's like the Osram girl. What was her name? Petra.
Petra!
Here she is, the guest of honor. I knew there was something about you. Hammered from the stuff they make leaders out of. And I don't say that to every Nora girl who blows through my town.
That happens to you a lot?
Had to build a wall to fend them off.
Good thing I'm persistent then.
I've missed our little talks. Murad asked me to look over the city arsenal. These guns have aged well. That runs in the Osram, no? They were the pride of the Mainspring Forges, so I've taken greater pride in improving them.
Alright, do you want me to test one of them, maybe?
Can I try one?
Everybody wants a turn. Have at it, then. The target should put up a little less of a fight than those bandit raiders did.
Right, I remember your cannon. I'm sure this will come in handy. Okay, I guess these are the targets I'm supposed to target.
It hits nice and wide. No need to aim it like a bow.
Alright. Oh, I guess I already dropped it. I kind of want to shoot it again. Oh, I see. I can't wear it when I'm standing on this little ledge over here. Alright. I like your cannon. Anyway, you can have it back. Oh, and apparently some machines got suspicious because I was firing the cannon. Anyway, they seem to be far enough away. Okay,
How many men do you think you'll kill in the battle, Lucid?
As many as I have to.
I love it when you say things like that. It's so...
What?
cheerful.
yes, he seems to be a very cheerful person. But okay, it looks like we have spoken to everyone around here. It's nice that all these people we've met on previous missions are now here to help us. Yeah, I guess that's the spire. I haven't actually been at the spire, so that's going to be interesting. Let's see. I guess
Amazing.
this is the way I need to take. I see that the spire is on top of that mesa. That's an interesting place to put it. Oh, and we have another journal repaired. Okay, but that's one we've already read. Well, as far as I can tell, there's none that I haven't looked at yet. Okay. Not sure why that popped up now. But okay, let's reach the spire. Oh, well, that is someone I didn't expect to see here. Aluki and Aratak.
Aratak? I didn't expect you to come all this way.
It's true, I am a stranger in this green and snowless land. Aurea forgave the Karja, but I never did. Still, I was compelled to come for my once chieftain. It's good to see you leading again. This young ice hunter seeks to prove herself also. Her spark reminds me of Aurea's in our youth. And I'm proud to take my place behind you on this hunt. A great challenge.
Survive and prevail, right?
There is no other way.
You also seem to be seriously overdressed, as in dressed too warmly, but whatever suits you.
You're the hunter from the Banuk Grove.
I remember you also, Nora. The machines shook free of their slumber after you arrived, raged and fought.
Well, that wasn't my fault.
No, I'm thanking you. That night, I decided I would not go back to Banur. I would take my hunt into these lands. So many machines, even demons. Spidery, skittering, without the blue light in them. Dead things that must be killed again.
Our enemies dug up an army of them.
An army. Yes, that's why I came. Good. I'll wait.
You seem to be a little bit too eager, to be honest, but I do like your outfit. That looks pretty neat. Okay, well, so we have more allies, I suppose. But okay, I take every help I can get. Oh, well, I was hoping to find you here as well.
Talana, why are you here?
I'm your hawk. Where else would I be?
Defending Meridian with Avad?
I leave that to the rest of the lodge. I will not stand aside while one of mine fights alone. Not again.
Are you sure you...
You're risking your life for all of us. You can't ask me to stand by and watch. Not when I have the power to change it.
Then I won't ask you.
It's settled. I will fight by your side. My only request...
Name it.
Leave the biggest machine for me.
No promises.
Yeah, the biggest machine is surely going to be Hades, and I don't think anyone but Aloy can handle Hades because she has the master override, right? So, I'm sorry, the biggest machine is going to be mine. But yeah, so nice to see all these people again. And, well, there's a spire. And they built like an interesting kind of temple complex around it. And this looks pretty neat as well. This almost looks like it would be a sundial. Although I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, we have more people to talk to. Oh, I see. We have more Nora over here. Val.
Greetings, Aloy. Don't. You don't need to bow. The Anointed doesn't like it.
She doesn't much like being called Anointed either. It means a lot to have you here, Varl.
I gave my word.
So, Meridian, what do you think?
I've seen many new things since I first met you. I should thank you.
Varl, what's wrong?
You really want to know? All right. I'm in a foreign land, a tainted land, defending a faithless city that looks like nothing I've seen. From something I can't imagine. And you, after all that's happened, all you've done, I feel like I should drop to my knees and worship you, but I know you don't want that.
Boy, things are pretty tough for you, huh? Thanks for telling the other Nora not to bow. It's the last thing I need.
Don't be too hard on them. They only joined this fight because the Anointed bid it so.
Is that why you came?
No. I would have come just to see you one more time. And we must fight a metal devil, because the goddess says. Or because you say.
I think the goddess and I are in agreement. We're both glad you're here.
So am I.
Yes, and I need you standing up on your feet and fighting and not on your knees. It's hard to fight when you're on your knees. Okay, well, it looks like there's a number of people I can talk to. We have some people over here.
It rises taller than the highest tree.
These Carja in their frilled armor look like turkeys.
But there are so many. And now we are so few.
They are not our foe. Not this time.
Quiet now. She comes.
The Anointed.
Please don't call me that.
War Chief Sona. War Chief, you seem uncomfortable.
The Nora do not belong here. I do not belong here. I will fight the metal devil that threatens us all, but my place is in the sacred land. The wrongness here jags at me like an arrowhead.
I'm sorry to put you through this.
Do not be sorry. This will be ended. My spear, my word.
Well, I hope you will be able to return to the sacred land soon and alive. And yeah, looks like we have some people over here as well.
So who are these guys?
They call themselves the Eclipse.
What does that even mean?
It's when the moon gets in front of the sun, idiot.
Is that supposed to sound scary or something?
I don't know. They used to be Carja. Carja are always yammering about sun and shade.
Well, if they used to be Carja, how tough can they be?
Yeah, they're best guys dressed like birds. We'll rip their little feathers off.
Let's not get cocky, boys.
Alright, there's Errant, and apparently he has gathered a few friends. They don't seem to be very bright, but as long as they can fight, I'm fine with it.
Long day.
Aloy. So here we are again, gearing up for a fight. Only this time it sounds like the bad guys have a lot more firepower. What are we up against, really?
I'm not sure. But there's gonna be a lot of them, and they'll have machines. And if they get past us, it's not just Meridian that will fall. The rest of the world will go with it.
That's big.
Yep, no pressure.
It sounds like our kind of fight. Right, guys? Well, where do they put the vanguard?
At the front of the line!
And why?
Steel before iron!
And what are we gonna do?
Hit them like a hammer till they can't hit back!
Damn right! You hear that? Nobody's getting past the vanguard. We're here for Meridian. And we're here for you.
Thank you, Errand. Ursa would be proud.
Well, only if we win.
Well, I'm sure with that much determination, we will win. Just don't get yourself killed. Okay, it looks like we talked to everyone that we can talk to. So is that a new one? Yeah, I think this is a new one. Such a close thing. It's been, what, 43 hours since Harris warned me, said collapse of the eastern line was imminent, swarms launching some kind of pincer maneuver versus the Wichita salient. 5 or 6 days more and I think Gaia could have launched without our help, I really do. We had to scramble, ZD became a madhouse, absolute bedlam. Every team rushed to stabilize code and lock it down as Gammas got evacuated, then Betas. Once Gaia was on her way, I gathered the Alphas together to give them the bad news. Felt like I was going to throw up. But they already knew, of course. They knew the work wasn't really finished. Close, but not quite there. Still tests to run, kings to smooth, work to do. So they accepted it. No Elysium for us. We'll spend the rest of our lives here, testing and polishing each subordinate function to perfection. Okay, as I expected, they were not supposed to be in Gaia Prime. And I mean, they didn't have to spend a lot of time there because Ted Faro killed them. Guess that's what you get when you recruit a bunch of obsessive perfectionists. Managed not to cry until I got back to my office. So here we are, setting up Gaia Prime, and yeah, such a close thing. Makes me feel nauseated all over again when I contemplate how the fate of life could hinge on coincidence. If I'd never proposed the Lightkeeper protocol, there never would have been living spaces constructed here. If I'd abandoned the protocol sooner, the necessary life support systems never would have been installed. If. At least we won't have to endure the creepiness of raising and training clones of ourselves. Okay, so the Lightkeeper project was some kind of cloning project, but they didn't pursue it for like a long time. The genetic material was never processed out of the cradle sites, so it's not even possible, for which I'm glad. I really wouldn't want to spend time around a young Travis Tate, raised by Travis Tate. I think I can understand that, and I never even met Travis Tate. No, it'll be up to us to perfect Gaia one generation only. So I guess they thought about creating clones to continue their work. Okay. Update. That was General Harris. The salient has collapsed. USRC expects to be overrun in 2 days, which gives us 27 hours at best to lock down and seal up. Buried alive for life's sake. I'll go tell the others. Yep, that's pretty grim. But, I mean, it worked. In the end, despite all the things that went wrong, it worked. It was a success, as you can see. Anyway, I kind of want to look around this place a little bit and maybe see if we can take a closer look at the spire. I mean, it doesn't look like I can actually climb up here or anything. So I can't, like, get inside it. Huh. Well, don't fall down here. Just wanted to have a look at the view and the setting sun, although I guess the sun is actually on the other side of the spire, so
oh great
can't really
sun,
see it from here.
How does your gaze fall? In approval or approach? Turn our heads with your daily pilgrimage, from the east where we came to the west where only you may go. You grant cold metal the warmth of life, and let the machines bask in your great shining. For you, the shadows shrink and part and gather again only at your allowance without form. Your eyes, the day, your ears, the priests, your lips, the radiant Sun King, as there was before and will be again, your light.
I vaguely remember him. I think he had a quest for me a long time ago.
Naman. I should have known if there was going to be a Sun Priest here, it would be you.
And if the Sun King had allowed Outlanders to set foot upon the Elite, this Aloy could only be you. I wish the circumstances were different, or that the Psalms of the Sun could give you peace of mind. But if you'll allow me one pontification...
Go ahead.
You've shown strength and compassion. Our enemies only a desperate hate. Both sides claim the blessing of the sun, but the sun that I pray to, it would bestow it upon yours.
You know, Naman, I'm already under some pretty heavy divine pressure, but I'll try to live up to it.
The tribes united against Shadow. How could that not be the sun's will?
Yes, I'm already the anointed of Honora. Do not make me like the anointed of the Kaja as well. That is too much. That is too much. Yeah, I don't think there's like a way to get closer to the spire. There's lots of unclimbable rock, or is there something I can go in? No, this just looks like it would be an opening. Okay, well, that's a pity. Anyway, apparently there might be people around here that aren't actually marked with a quest. I'm also trying to remember if there's any other like important person I can talk to that might not be here. I wonder if Olin is somewhere. Maybe I can talk to him. Also, I think someone told me that the Banuk hunters that wanted to leave Banuk territory, they can actually be found in Meridian. maybe I should go and look for them. Also, I guess I can maybe go back to Rost's grave. After all, we did do like a main mission in between, so she may have some new dialogue since then. Yeah, sure. Why not go and talk to Rost again, and then maybe we can have a quick look around Meridian if we can find someone else to talk to. Because I feel it's maybe a little bit too late in the episode to actually start what I'm guessing is going to be the final mission, because I mean this has like the final goodbyes before, you know, the end vibes, so I'm guessing if I want to do this, then I have to do it now. Okay, first of all, let's visit Rost's grave one more time. And then maybe we can have a very quick look at Meridian again and see if we can talk to someone in Meridian.
To think he built all this alone.
Again, I'm not sure if that is a new file. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I mean, the final ones are repaired, but there's still a few that
So many
are
memories.
not.
It's not home anymore. Not without Rost. There's nothing for me here anymore.
Well, let's see.
Hi, Rost. I'm back. It's been a while. I've got what I need to destroy Hades. The Master Override. Now all I have to do is drive it into Hades' skull, so no problem there. The final battle will be fought at Meridian. Hades will come for the spire, and I'll be ready.
Alright, go on.
I found out how Elizabeth died. She sacrificed herself, as you might expect. Said something about going home. I wonder where that was for her. If I ever find out, I'd like to go there. See it myself. Assuming I actually survived the battle at Meridian, of course. Which, let's face it, is... well... who knows?
I mean, sure, after all this talk of sacrifice and self-sacrifice, you know, it is not hard to assume that she might go a similar way. Then again, I happen to know that this game has a sequel, and I'm pretty sure I saw Aloy on, like, the artwork of the sequel. So I guess in that regard, I'm a little bit spoiled, but anyway, go on.
I won't be fighting alone when the battle comes. I warned Avad, the Karja Sun King. I wonder what you'd make of him. Anyway, he pledged support. And Erend, he's gonna defend the spire with a detachment of Vanguard. But that's not all. A group of Nora made the journey. Seekers. All the way to Meridian. Varl, Sona, Teb, others. A whole little war party. Imagine. The Nora fighting for something beyond the sacred land. For a purpose greater than themselves. Well, I'll try to come back if I can, but... I guess this might be it. Thank you, Rost. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, that sounded very final, so that's probably all she will have to say to him. But yeah, I was able to gather quite the diverse group of people to defend Meridian and the Spire, all kinds of different factions, which is like one of my favorite video game tropes, you know, uniting different factions to fight against overwhelming evil, so I kind of like that. Yeah, so we said goodbye to Rost, and back to Meridian it is, and I will have a quick look around and see if I can find anyone else to talk to, specifically the Banuk hunters.
Irid, didn't want to startle you.
Oh, yes. I heard of the tragedy that befell your tribe. The sun hung low that day as we traveled back. Yet I also heard you saved the Sun King's life. Of course you have our thanks.
Alright, apparently I can talk a little bit to him again. So tell me about this place, maybe.
So, this is the Temple of the Sun Priests.
Where we offer our daily prayers for balance. I'm afraid only Karja can participate, but you are welcome to observe.
Don't worry, I'm used to it. What are these prayers?
To recognize the sun is to recognize we live in renewal. By its rise and fall, we determine what to take up and what to set aside. Offered to its pure heat, the skin peels, and old time is burned away. We treasure the blisters.
That sounds painful.
Well, there is no glory without sacrifice.
So sunburns are sacred, huh? Yeah, tell me about the tower.
The temple looks out on the tower across the valley. Why?
That's the spire, guiding us forever skyward, gleaming with the rays of the sun at noon. It is said that the spire's shadow lay across this mesa when our ancestors came to the valley, searching for a home. Thus, sun and spire joined, showing the Karja where to build. The dawn of Meridian.
I see. Anyway, I guess that's it.
Always illuminating, Irid.
May the great sun always shine upon you.
I'm also not like entirely certain that this is new dialogue. I actually may have asked that before. But then again, it should be grayed out, right? But either way, I still haven't found the hunters, so I will keep looking. Alright, I have been looking around Meridian for a while. I didn't really find anyone else to talk to, and I didn't find the 3 hunters either. I guess they might not actually be Meridian, but just somewhere in Karja territory, not actually here in the capital. So, I guess that's all I'm going to do, and in the next episode I will rest before the final battle. So, if you think there's like anything else that I need to do, anyone I need to talk to or something, let me know and I will try to do it at the beginning of the next episode. But otherwise, I guess we are finally going to head into the final battle. So, as always, thank you for watching and see you again next time.